Yeah, good morning, ma'am. Myself, Sharat Chandra. I'll be discussing about this article for the class. Ma'am, regarding this sixth Mars extension, this has been a term which was in news a few years ago. The sixth Mars extension was predicted by many international organizations like United Nations, WWF, and many other several NGOs working on the field of climate change and wildlife biodiversity. This wildlife threats being accelerated in the wake of aggravated human activity was what which was explained by a notation called sixth mass extinction, because earth has already witnessed five mass extinctions which has resulted in a serious threat to various kinds of wildlife species. But this sixth mass extinction is completely unique in the sense this sixth mass extinction is driven by humans. All the five mass extinctions in the past have been driven by uh, exterior factors like a meteor strike or volcanic outburst or some type of natural phenomenon. But this sixth mass extinction is unique in the sense it is driven by human beings and their negative consequences of their activities which have aggravated in the recent past. So this is a brief introduction. This article explains how this sixth mass extinction has put so many species on the brink of extinction. This is a example given in the photograph. The Sumatran rhino is on the verge of extinction with less than 1,000 left few years ago. I don't know uh, how this threats to I, uh, I can explain you how this threats to human threats to wildlife have aggravated. Especially rhinoceros is one of the biggest victim of human activity. So, coming to this article, the sixth mass extinction of wildlife on the earth is accelerating because of human beings, which has been pointed out by uh, many environmentalists, and they have said this is leading to a collapse of civilization. They say more than 500 species of land animals are on the verge of extinction, and they are on the verge of being completely lost by say 20 more years, with this pace of rampant destruction happening on this planet. And without the human destruction of nature, even this rate of loss would have taken 1,000 years. That is the difference, ma'am. You just compare it with this 20-year period and the possibility of getting threatened in 1,000 years. 20 years because of aggravated man-made activity, and 1,000 years because of their natural cycles. So the difference is almost 980 years. If human activity is reduced, it can these species can almost survive without any issues with almost thousands of years. That is what scientists have predicted. And especially in case of land vertebrates, most of them are on the verge of extinction, like Sumatran rhino, which I've already discussed, and this is a clarion wren, Aspinallo giant tortoise, harlequin frog. The data also shows 77% of the species, and the scientists found that these had lost 94% of their population because of human activity. And not just this species getting threatened, ma'am, this has also a domino effect. With loss of one species, uh, whole of the cycle gets upset. This has a trickle down effect on various other species and finally onto the human beings. So there's a cyclical pattern which is going to aggravate this crisis. So we know how humanity relies on biodiversity, health and well-being, especially in the wake of pandemic. We see how uh, wildlife was threatened, and it is an aggravated activity of humans is said to have caused the spread of coronavirus, especially this threatening their habitats. For example, see the case of bats. In case of Ebola epidemic in Africa, these bats are said to be uh, the main reservoir for this Ebola in Africa, and there is severe degradation of African forests, which has reduced the gap between these bat species and humans. The bats have come to the proximity of humans, and these wild bats are said to be a reservoir of virus which have entered into humans. And not just this destruction, also the activity of uh, people uh, consuming this wild animal meats, especially by poaching or such kind of activities, have aggravated the um, proximity of humans and animals, ma'am. This is one of the biggest case for this new type of epidemics. If we see all type of epidemics are one or the other kind having an animal origin. Take it the case of Nipah, take it the case of SARS, take it the case of MERS, and so many such kind of things. They have a reservoir with respect to wild animals, and humans' proximity to wild animals because of human activity has resulted in these kinds of pandemics. This The scientist said, with the coronavirus pandemic, an extreme example of the dangers of the natural world, rising human population, destruction of habitats, wildlife trade, pollution, and climate crisis are to be tackled immediately if we want to address these kinds of issues, ma'am. When humanity exterminates other creatures, it is a sawing of its own limbs, ma'am. When somehow the other kind of species is under threat, uh, it is in one or the other way it is a threat we ourselves will be facing now or in the future. I'll explain you with respect to uh, one one thing one thing which I would like to explain is, ma'am, the case of pollinators. In case of pollinators, we see how butterflies, bees, and all such kind of species have got threatened. These butterflies are said to be pollinating thousands of tree species, thousands of fruit species, crops, and all. And because of our aggravated activity, where we use indiscriminately pesticides, fertilizers in such kind of sensitive agricultural zones, these butterflies and other kinds of pollinators have vanished off the planet, which has resulted in a serious threat to biodiversity, because we need to put more inputs in the coming times for betterment of this agricultural productivity. And because of this, the natural ways of pollination, natural ways of production have altered, and this has resulted in a threat to food security, ma'am. This is one of the example which I thought of. When we threaten uh, pollinators, it is in a sense we threaten our own food systems. This is what is an example of this statement, ma'am. So it is important that the conservation of endangered species should be elevated to highest scales. Yes, it is happening at highest scales as of now, ma'am, with respect to United Nations, so many other institutions working on this field of conservation. But one thing is, ma'am, these have a limited scope, in the sense they produce their generate lots of research and research activities, lots of reports will be generated. But how concretely the governments will take up these reports as a suggestions and how they will implement is a thing to be debated even today, ma'am. See, 2 years ago, this WWF, World Wildlife Fund, has come up with this serious report warning that there is a sixth mass extinction. But we see the activity or the awareness part is still at a nascent level with respect to the threats faced by wildlife, biodiversity, and environment. So it is important that the conservation should be elevated at the highest levels, and not just at highest levels, it should also be brought to the lowest levels where people themselves participate in conservation activities. So we are facing a final opportunity to ensure that many services nature provides us do not go irretrievably savaged. We should act immediately so that we have one more final opportunity. Despite all these warnings, we have an opportunity to move back everything, to protect our nature, to live in harmonious relationship with our nature. And there is still a chance. It is time we act before this gets irretrievably sabotaged. So that is the thing, ma'am. And we see about this IUCN Red List, which publishes data about endangered species. Uh, there are so many species which are under the verge of extinction, or which are on the verge of being threatened, ma'am. This is the thing. The scientists discovered that 388 species of land vertebrates had the population under 5,000, and the vast majority lived in the same region as the species with population under 1,000, creating conditions of domino effect. The domino effect is in the sense, uh, there is a threat to tiger as well as there is a threat to a deer. In the sense, when deer is threatened, tiger is threatened. When tiger will be threatened, a deer also will be threatened. This cycle of food chain will be completely devastating. So we know so many examples of species getting extinct. One of the species is stellar sea cow, which has got extinct. So finally, what the researchers say is, uh, this study provides another line of evidence that biodiversity crisis is accelerating. The problem faced is that we don't know more about the species and the geographical distributions. We still need to research on these animal patterns, their lifestyles and all, because understanding them better helps us to enable us to conserve them better. So this is an example of Espinalo giant tortoise, which was introduced that it is under serious threat. Uh, but now, ma'am, uh, the biodiversity crisis is real and urgent. To transition to the sustainable world, we need to treat more lightly on the planet. Until then, we are essentially robbing future generations. We threatening environment biodiversity is in a sense threatening our own future generations, ma'am. This analysis has explained how vertebrate populations are extensively under threat because of human beings. So these are some of the statistics. Uh, Having thousand species, population less than thousand are still are under serious threat, ma'am. The actions in many ways, directly or indirectly, will rely on how our earth will heal in the coming days. Disrupting nature leads to costly and often hard to reverse effects. COVID-19 pandemic is the best example for this, man. So finally, the study concludes that the numbers in this research are shocking. However, there is still a light of hope. If we stop the land grabbing and devastating of devotion in countries such as Brazil, Amazon forest, every day, ma'am, almost 10 football-sized area-sized forests are cut almost every day. This is the kind of threat we are doing to the nature. So we can start to bend the curve of biodiversity loss with taking best efforts at all the levels. That is the uh, essence of this article, man. Thank you.